Hi everyone, Pete Rock with Gamertag Radio. I'm here with David Vonderhaar. You're the multiplayer. You do the intro.
Yeah? Can we spell my name and everything?
Absolutely. No, you don't have to.
It's David Vonderhaar. I'm the multiplayer game design director at Treyarch.
All right, so tell me a little bit about the multiplayer. Everybody loves Call of Duty 4. What separates World at War from COD 4?
So I would never start with the word separate. I think that was a Call of Duty 4 we were all really big fans of, and we wanted to take that core formula that people were really familiar with and into and sort of bring it up from there. And for us, we of course have some pretty big maps because we have some vehicle gameplay. You can play large maps with vehicles, you can play large maps without vehicles. We've got some brand new perks and some new game modes that the game offers.
All right. Are all the weapons available in multiplayer along the same weapons that are available in the single-player campaign? Are there any differences, or all the guns that you have in the game single-player are going to be available in multiplayer?
So I don't think that every single gun that's available in multiplayer is available in single-player. Most of them are. In fact, we made some guns for multiplayer that they ended up putting in single-player later on, like the PTRS 41 is an example of such a gun, and they had the flamethrower, and we had to have the flamethrower in multiplayer. So it's a shared thing. Of course, the multiplayer has got the gun attachments, though, and you won't see most or any of the gun attachments in single player.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay. I know I asked you a little bit about this downstairs. Is there going to be like local LAN play, like for MLG or for tournaments, stuff like that?
So of course on the Xbox we support System Link, and on the PS3 we have the concept of LAN party, and then on the PC there's of course a way to run a local server.
Okay, but would we be able to create customized classes on local LAN play?
Yeah, you love this question, don't you?
Well, I have to ask this because a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
You know.
So no, the default, there are default classes, 10 default classes available for System Link and LAN Party.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the lobby system? I know that you guys tweaked it and changed it around. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. So we went to town on the party system and the lobby system in general, and for us there was a couple things we really wanted to do to that system. The first thing we wanted to do is make sure that you can set your party privacy, which means to say, hey look, I want only people I invite to be able to join this party, or I want to be able to close this party and not let anybody join it as the host of that party. And what I really want out of that system was for people to be able to say, look, I want to specify my matchmaking search preferences. I want to only search for games in my region, even if it means it takes me a little longer to search for a game. And then what we wanted to do was say, hey, look, we're leaving the lobby as a party. We can all leave together. I, as the party host, can say leave lobby with party, and we'll bring everybody back with you so that we can then look for a map. Yeah, okay. Instead of trying to time it all, for example, right? Mm-hmm. And then for us, then the big thing with the parties is they roll right into the squads. So if you're in a party, you'll be formed into a squad automatically inside the game.
Okay, awesome. Let's see, what else? Tell me about the perks.
Got lots of new perks. Brought back many of the classic perks that people are going to expect from a Call of Duty game. But on the new perk front, we've got some vehicle perks, things like the water cooler and grease bearings and the coaxial MG and lead foot. And then we've got some defensive perks like gas mask and shades, and we've got some offensive perks like the flamethrower itself and satchel charges and bouncing betties, and
bouncing betties. Wow, I can't wait to see those in action.
they're great. Go down and check them out.
I will. I'll check those out later. Speaking to Daniel earlier, and he mentioned death cards. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Not that anything that Daniel already told you about. Great.
Okay. All right, so we've got filtered matchmaking. You can leave game with the party. Can you have, let's say you're in the game lobby, you've got two teams already. Can you invite people into your party direct, or do you have to back out into your own private lobby? And
Not at all. I mean, you can invite people. The party privacy and the party settings are specified in the party menu, which is the first menu. But of course, you can invite from anywhere, including the actual game.
And they'll follow you through the next game and stay within your party, or
you set up the party from the party menu, and if you let me clarify. So there's really three lobbies in this game, right? So there's a party lobby, which is where the party formation actually happens. That's the first thing you get to when you go on to, say, for example, on the 360, you boot up the game. You go to Xbox Live, you are in the party menu. From there, you can go to private match, or you can go and search for a public match. But either way, that's where the core party formation happens, where you specify who you want in your party. You can drag those people over to private match, and then anything you do there will be sacred too and be held. But once you go over into Xbox Live, then we take you into the wild. You can still invite your friends and all those kinds of things. You can invite your friends anywhere in the game.
Okay. Let's see. How many maps are we looking at on the multiplayer side?
We've got 13 maps at launch, and we're already cooking up some more back at the ranch.
Wow. Any estimated ship dates for those DLCs?
I wish I could tell you, honestly. I mean, no one wants to make the maps that we have, the maps that we're cooking up. No one wants to get those maps finished and done more than the people who are currently working on those maps.
I can imagine.
Yeah, the design team is very eager. There's a lot of ideas that we wanted to do, but you can't ever sacrifice the quality of a map. So in general, I think there's things that you just want to go back to. So like, if I have this time, I can make this a great map, and then some new ideas from scratch that we didn't think of until it was too late for the mainline product.
Right. Was Chark able to do anything about? I mean, everybody complains about spawn killing or spawn camping. Did you guys implement anything to try to prevent something like that?
I'm really glad that you asked me this question, because you're the first person to ask me about the spawn system, and we actually did a lot of work on the spawn system. So what we've got going on, or what is practically a rewrite of the way spawning works. So in the game, there will still be starting spawns the way that you're familiar with. But then from there, the system gets more complicated. And what we have are what's called positive and negative influencer rules. So things like an artillery strike will cast down 1,000 negative points. So it's very, very improbable that you're going to spawn in the middle of an artillery strike, because we're invalidating every one of those spawn points with that negative influencer.
Okay.
So in a game mode like War, the objectives are linked. So the things that are closest to your previous objective have a positive influence. So people are going to spawn closer to the objectives. So this system persists throughout every game mode. So in a game mode like HQ, you obviously don't want to spawn on top of the actual radio.
Right.
That wouldn't be fun for anybody. So the spawn system in Call of Duty World at War has been sort of stripped down. We kept the stuff that worked, and we revisited. I mean, enemy players actually cast negative influence in front of them, so it's unlikely that you're going to spawn with somebody looking in your direction. Your friendly players cast a positive radius around them, so that you're going to try to spawn with your teammates, and then your squad leader and squad mates cast even more positive influence. So if you're in a squad, you're actually going to try to spawn you with your squad mates.
Interesting. I was talking to the community manager downstairs, and he mentioned something that if you're a sniper, you spawn closer to the sniper. If you've got some guys that are running, machine heavy gunners, you'll spawn closer to the heavy gunners. Is that true?
Well, I think what he's talking about there is how the system is working with the squads and the party system in order to keep you with those people. So if you're rolling with a squad of machine gunners, then you're going to try to roll with a squad of machine gunners. So the system itself says, hey, look, are you a friendly player or not? And are you a friendly player and a teammate or not? Or are you an enemy player? And it uses that combined with thousands, and quite literally I mean that, thousands of spawn points, to try to put you in a spot where you're not in the line of fire of the enemy and you're with your teammates.
Interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool. What about team killing? Because I know there's talk in a new playlist or an update for the current game. Is there any way you guys are going to be able to prevent that?
I'm so glad, man. So you got all the good questions.
I play it a lot. So
none of these other questions were brought up. So the thing about the spawning and how it works, no one asked me about, and no one's asked me about this. You will get kicked for team killing in Call of Duty World at War.
Immediately, or is there like a stack limit? Like you can only do it
it's
more
a threshold.
Okay, so
it's a point threshold actually. So if you play hardcore, I'm a hardcore player.
That's what I play all the time.
So if you play hardcore, and you're going to be one of those guys that wants to put your rifle grenade down at the feet, you're going to get this real negative hit because you're killing immediately within a spawn. And you're going to get booted out of that list, and you're not going to be able to rejoin it. Yeah, there's a solution for that.
Yeah, because I know I play hardcore team deathmatch and everything else, and so the game starts and somebody shoots an RPG at the feet, everybody dies, but he comes back and he stays in the game.
That guy's gone.
And he'll never be able to rejoin that game?
He can't rejoin that game.
Even after the game? How about after the game ends and you start up on a second map? Would that guy be able to come back in?
So I've got tunables in the playlist which control what the frequency is of rejoins and how often I expire his negative points. And that's a tuning value that we're trying to make sure we get right so we don't blow it. You obviously don't want somebody who has accidentally team killed to suddenly be able to unplay with his friends. So I've got the threshold set real low right now to make sure we understand how well it's working when the beta gets out there, and then we'll start bringing it up or bringing it back down accordingly.
Is that something you guys are going to be able to control?
Absolutely. The playlist system that we have in the game lets us adjust these values post-ship.
That's really, really cool. Wow. I'm so looking forward to this game, if you don't understand. All right, you said game types. There's, HQ.
The classics are there. So
we got domination, headquarters, search and destroy.
Everything that you're used to: search and destroy, headquarters, domination, sabotage, team deathmatch, free for all those things that you've been playing, that are there. And then what we got on the top of that is the war game mode. That's a game mode we introduced in Call of Duty 3, but then we sort of came back to it for World at War and thought about, hey, how can we really tighten this thing up? Because it's really positive game mode that's encouraging the line battles that everybody really enjoys out of a Call of Duty multiplayer game, because you're fighting over a single point at one time, and that's shifting throughout the map, so it's not the same line battle every time.
Okay.
And then, of course, we made Capture the Flag for no other reason that a lot of the fans of the game went over to the Call of Duty message boards and said, please bring us Call of Duty, please bring us Capture the Flag. We want Capture the Flag. Please, Treyarch, make Capture the Flag. And Josh said, hey, you need to read this thread, man. There's a lot of people who want Capture the Flag. And we made Capture the Flag.
Cool. Well, guys, I'm going to end this interview real quick because I want to go back downstairs to play the game. Everybody that knows me, I'm a big Call of Duty 4 fan, and this is actually going to put that game on the shelf once this game launches. I'm going to go pick it up. Suggest you guys do it, too.
Thanks for asking about the spawn system, man.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
Good chance to talk about that.